Acumatica is a fantastic product that serves a huge variety of industries. One of its distinct advantages is that it has field service as a core module within the platform that allows all the data to live within the same database. Acumatica's field service tool is designed to be a little bit more general and to serve a wide variety of field service needs. That's where Field Service Pro comes in because it's a tool that's designed for tradesmen. Summit Business Systems has developed this platform, Field Service Pro, to do exactly that. And they're doing it from a place of authority. They've been there and done that, and that really shows in the way that they've built out the product. One of the most exciting enhancements and probably the most substantial enhancement that they made is to the native mobile app that technicians will use as they're performing work on site. I know first and foremost that for folks to use technology, and especially for people that are in the field, it really needs to be very simple and intuitive and easy to use. Let's just take a look at what they've done here. So as I go into a particular appointment, you could see the summary tab is what loads first, and that's similar to the native functionality within Acumatica. But as I scroll down, you'll see more than just the location and the type of work that needs to be done from a high level. I've got a initiation field here that says, oh, in this case, the facility manager was the one that initiated the call, as well as a dispatcher comment that's only visible to the technician that they're not able to modify that gives them extra insight. I also can see much more detail in terms of the work that is requested, which gives them a lot of clarity immediately on loading this as to what needs to be performed when they're on site. In addition, oftentimes technicians need to check into the site that they're headed to and check out when they're done. And we have the IVR and sign-off information right here so that they can call directly from here. So way more information right at their fingertips right as they get on site. As I swipe over to the details here, you'll see things that again are appearing to be very similar to what's available in the native app. But one of the biggest things that I hear constantly from people is they want the technicians not to be able to see the cost or price of whatever it is that's being added to that appointment. And that's exactly by default what FS Pro does. You can see the quantities that are here, you can change the quantities that are here, but you have no insight into the cost or pricing of what you're adding to this appointment. The last really huge piece that's been added is the customer location history. This allows me to see all the historic appointments that have actually been completed at this site, which is critical in break fix. If I'm working on a piece of equipment, I really want to know what's happened at that piece of equipment or on that piece of equipment historically. And if I'm going out for the same types of things repetitively, why not just quote replacing that piece of equipment, right? And seeing what prior technicians have done can give you a really head start in terms of the troubleshooting while you're on site. And this is something that's put right at your fingertips with the functionality that they've added. And it makes it so much easier and more straightforward for a technician to show up and not be bothered by the technology that they have to use, but actually have their lives be made easier, which is always the goal from a tech perspective in business. They've also added a ton of enhancements to the appointment profile as well. Certainly information for the dispatcher and, who initiated the call and all of that sort of thing. But there's other really important things like PO history when a purchase order is created. How many receipts did it take to fulfill that? And what bills have been put against that, all right from that particular screen. In addition, you obviously can see the appointment history from there as well. And there is the site first methodology that allows you to select the physical address of the place the work is going to be performed first, and then it pre-fills the customer and the site location within that customer. So it even shortcuts the setup for dispatchers and folks that are working in the back office to enable the technicians to work faster and smarter. True T&M is also possible with the work that they've done with FS Pro. The markup table options that they have are so robust, and you can have tons of different markup tables by customer or with different discounts, with different thresholds. So if it's under $5, maybe it's a 500% markup. So you can establish those different markups and then apply them by customer or by inventory ID or by item class to really get some dynamic pricing as you're performing the work. In addition, the markup tables really help with the quoted work functionality that FS Pro has added to the Acumatica base functionality. As you're building out your quotes, it will show you the pricing based on the margins that you've set up. And with the quoted functionality that FS Pro adds, you can then look at the basis for pricing those things out and then choose the quoted amount. So let's say that it quotes out $4,900. Well, you could actually say, let's make it $5,000 and see if we can sell that. And you could see the margin at that quoted amount. So you can play with the numbers and make adjustments in a really intuitive way. Then when it comes time to bill your quoted work, you have the opportunity to toggle between T&M and quoted work if the customer says, you know what, just do it for me, T&M. So it really makes it convenient to make adjustments because, customers sometimes ask for some flexibility. And with this new functionality, that's definitely possible. In an environment where volume is the way that you run your business, you really need a sense of your profitability and how your service orders are performing, not service order by service order, but across the whole. And the new service order profitability inquiry that they've built with color coding that makes it really intuitive to see how you're performing from a labor and a material and an other expense perspective, as well as the revenue that's associated with that appointment and those service orders, really makes it easy for people that are in management and service managers and even executives to see how various different parts of the service arm or department are actually performing. So the enhanced functionality and the enhanced reporting is one of the big difference makers that makes this a fantastic product for really anyone that's doing break fix in the Acumatica channel and anyone that's looking for a tool that will give them enhanced reporting. Summit is continually adding products to FS Pro. Their goal is to continue to support their customers, and they're really eager to take feedback that can be spread across all the customers that are using this product. Whether you haven't bought Acumatica yet and are still considering it, or you've been using Acumatica for a long time, if you're in the trades, if you're doing break fix, if you need to make life easier on your technicians, adding FS Pro on top of Acumatica is a total no-brainer.